time for the ride home in ENC.
Yes! Yes! Yes!
This is your 5 o'clock drive with Patrick Johnson.
Holy mackerel!
More news, more interviews, more ECU stories than you can shake a stick at. Hey, stop shaking that stick. This is the Patrick Johnson Show.
Pirates win! Pirates win!
On 94.3 The Game.
You know, it's like riding a bike, right? You just hadn't done it in a minute. You get back on. It's been a month since I've been on the air here in the afternoons. The show, as far as like day to day, back to back, what the week before that. So it's been a minute. Welcome, everybody, as we're in the season premiere of the Patrick Johnson Show. No cliffhangers during our summer hiatus. At least I don't think there were any that we left the listeners with. Philip Pilkington is back. I'm back. We have intern DeMarco today, who will have a role in the program in just a minute. We've already got a false start. Is that what we're calling it, or are we calling it a delay of game?
We're calling it a
with
delay
JDB,
of game. Yeah.
JDB not showing to the press conference today, the coordinators conference. That's all right.
Yeah, the theory was that he went to go take his normal walk he takes after practice, that he usually doesn't have his phone on him. So when they tried to call him, he didn't realize it, and he forgot that it was today.
I think that's a great idea. Go walk without the phone. I think that makes total sense. Clear your head, get away from it. You know what we do have today, Philip? We have the head pirate himself, Blake Harrell, on the program today. Philip looks panicked, so now I'm panicked.
No, I'm getting a text that we're
Little always anonymous text line?
Little always anonymous text line.
Okay. Care to say what the always anonymous text line
Well,
says?
no, it wasn't. It was technical stuff. We won't worry about it. As
Technical?
You were.
We
Yeah.
had a technical snafu. Did anything I say come across the airwaves?
No, it all came across the air. Yeah.
Okay. All of it?
Well, everything we
Even the
once we
stuff
played the
I
open.
said about.
Once we played the open,
No,
I mean, it wasn't going across earlier.
Yeah,
when we
I know.
were goofing
no,
off.
I know. When
Our
we're
pre-show goof
slamming
meeting?
everybody. Who's slamming who?
Yeah.
All right, so we'll hear from Blake Harrell coming up in a little bit. The Pitt County softball team, I cursed them, Pilk. I had not really watched them, and then I watched them Saturday. And you know what that did? Caused them to lose in extra innings. So
They
if
need
you're
to
going to
figure
blame
this
someone,
out.
blame me.
Why is it a double elimination tournament, but when it gets to the championship game, it's not double elimination? Is that not the biggest bunch of horse manure you've ever seen?
Now, when you say get to the championship game, do you mean the semifinal?
Well, yeah, I guess
right,
the championship game of your bracket, because they have it set up how the American does their baseball, and it's like an A bracket and a B bracket, and those are double elimination. But it's not technically, because if you're the team that goes 3 wins, you don't have to lose twice on semifinal day like you do in the American baseball tournament. Now, I'm fine with a winner-take-all championship game, but that's the winner of 2 different brackets anyways.
Well, it is made for television. And the argument would be that you get to play in something you don't normally get in tournaments nowadays, the consolation game, where it's 3rd and 4th. So they didn't make the podium because they lost yesterday after falling behind. And the rally did not allow them to furiously storm back this time. So, but blame me. I had it on Saturday watching it.
Dang it, Patrick.
I know. Blame me. We would have had back-to-back championships had I just stayed away from it as I had most of the week. All right, we have a new segment. Who says we haven't been doing anything in the offseason? We have a new segment on the program starting today. And it is the 5, kind of like the top 5 things you got to know at 5 o'clock. So let's do it. Let's jump to it.
This may very well be our last mission. Let's make it count.
This is the Patrick Johnson Show on 94.3 The Game.
It's impossible.
Now some stories you may have heard.
You ready?
Or catch it for the first time. This is your 5 at 5 with the P-Man.
All right, I like it.
I do too.
$1 million, that thing there. All right, we've got top 5 stories to cover for you here in this 5 o'clock hour. Let's. We have intern DeMarco ready to read them off. Is that right, Pilk? Okay. All right, let's start with number one, intern DeMarco. Take it away.
Fairway Jesus sucks again on Sunday, shooting 1 under after starting the day with the lead.
Your boy. Defend your boy.
What?
P-Man.
All right. In case you didn't hear DeMarco say that, it's hilarious.
I wrote it. DeMarco did not
I know
write
you
this.
did.
I wrote it.
I know, but that was so funny. DeMarco, for the first time ever, cracks the mic on commercial radio, and out of the gate, Fairway Jesus sucks again. Well, that is Tommy Fleetwood, who is what is that, the 7th time in the last several years he's kind of blown a lead and has wound up as the runner-up. He's blown a Sunday lead to wind up as the runner-up. He wasn't even the runner-up this time.
No, he's like
he was
Phil at the
like
U.S.
third
Open.
or fourth. Yeah. I was rooting for J.J. Spaun. I'm not a Justin Rose. Justin Rose should be on Live, but then he just sort of lacks any sort of enthusiasm or personality. He was also the guy that won the PGA's FedEx Cup that year that Tiger broke through and got his 80th win. And nobody was, like they often do, nobody was talking about Justin Rose. Nobody. But he went on a birdie run. He went on a birdie run 4 in a row. But Fairway Jesus, to what was it? 2-shot lead with 3 holes? Is that what he had?
Like that. Yeah.
And he choked it away, and then he's all smiling afterwards. I looked at, where did he finish, Pilk? Third? Did he finish third?
I think it was third, yeah.
He got like $1 million still, or close to it.
Yeah.
I'd be smiling too. But I was texting Mole. So there's no bigger choke artist in golf right now than Tommy Fleetwood. There's not.
No, not at all.
And I thought he would get chased down and Rose would wilt, because I thought Scheffler was going to win it. But Scotty didn't have his caddy.
Yeah.
And that's the only reason I think he did not win. But, yeah, no, it's hard to root for. I mean, like, as a Cubs fan, I can root for the Cubbies, which, by the way, got taken to the woodshed against the Cardinals on Friday.
Yeah,
took
I was
the
watching
Cardinals
the game
to the
with
woodshed
your boy,
on
Billy Grover.
They took the Cardinals to the woodshed on Saturday, but then last night lost 3-2 after falling behind 2-0 in the rain-delayed game. The Cubs always had a lovable loser mantra to them.
Mm-hmm.
There's teams we all root for. You kind of root for, but it's hard to root for Tommy Fleetwood because he just stinks.
Yeah.
Or as DeMarco put it, Fairway Jesus sucks again, or whatever he said.
He said whatever I typed.
Yes. Do you have a statement on this, Pilk?
Well, okay. To be fair, I originally thought I was going to read them all, so I just typed up something brief, and I maybe wasn't going to read it word for word. And I found out he was going to read it word for word. Like, you know what? Let's leave it. Let's have fun with it. Let's leave it.
No. Do you have a statement? That's the reason I
a statement
had
on
him read it.
I mean,
not
this
you.
guy. Look,
You have an opinion?
I agree with everything you
Jeez.
said. I mean, it shouldn't be this hard to win a golf tournament when you got the skill set that this guy has, and it gets in his head on Sundays that he's finally going to win one, and he blows up. I mean, it's got to be mental. It's not a talent problem. It's not like it's you or me out there with a 2-stroke lead.
And I think he's got a Macron thing. I think like his wife is like older than he is by a significant amount.
Oh, so her brain problems that old people just go through are causing him to be mentally taxed come Sunday because he probably keep repeating himself. She forgets.
What's next?
All right,
Jeez Louise. What is next?
Take it away.
SVG 4 in a row on road courses.
Got anything, PJ?
This is a NASCAR thing, isn't it, Pilk?
Yes. Shane Van Gisbergen, the New Zealand sports car driver who came over to NASCAR, has now won the last 4 road course races.
What was the NASCAR movie with Will Ferrell?
Talladega Nights.
Talladega. Doesn't Sacha Baron Cohen play like a European villain racer in that?
I don't know what the guy's
If I'm
name
not
is.
mistaken.
Yeah.
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 The guy who was Borat. He was the villain in that.
Yes. He was the
and he played like
French
a foreign
guy that
driver,
came over
right?
from
Yeah.
F1. Yeah.
Is that what's happening here with SVG? Is he a foreign villain? Is he a foreign menace?
No,
as they say
he
in
took
pro
the
wrestling?
lead, man. He took the lead from Blaney, and man, people were cheering. They like him because he's nice and he's humble about it. He's not like Jean
He's
Girard.
not a foreign menace.
No.
All right.
He's a
Let me
menace
ask
on
you
road
this:
courses.
is he the driver of the year? He's won 5.
He's won 4 this year.
He's
Five in
won
his
4
career.
road courses, 5 in his career. But
Yeah.
I thought he's
won
won
the
5.
No, he won the
this year.
Chicago street race a couple years back, and he's got 4 wins.
Okay,
this
is he
year.
the driver of the year since he's won 4?
I think so because he's exceeding expectations.
Okay.
And everybody's good. I mean, there's guys obviously more points, but you would.
How does he do when they're not on a road course?
He's getting better. It's still not good, but
Okay.
he's getting better. He said he likes the challenge though. They were interviewing about it, and they were like, "Hey man, you got a long way to go." And he goes, "Yeah, but I'm getting better every week. It's kind of fun, like struggling, Like I think he enjoys learning."
Unless you're fairway Jesus, then
Yeah.
it's no fun. All right, number 3.
Shador looks good in preseason debut.
Shador Sanders passed for 2 touchdowns. 130 yards? Is that what
Something
it was?
like that, yeah.
Yeah. I think, and now look, there's everybody out there saying, oh, Shador is the guy. He was the best quarterback. No offense, Pilk, but Willie Grover's starting quarterback for his Brownies as you guys went to the game, Shador Sanders, did do it against the Panthers in the preseason. Pump the brakes. Pump the brakes, people.
I will say,
By the way,
he looks more.
Joe Flacco looked enthusiastic about this.
Yeah.
He really was excited. I think he likes this idea of mentoring Shador Sanders.
I think he likes the idea of getting paid $2 million to sit on the bench and never get hit. He just wants one of these
That's
guys.
true, too.
He doesn't need to get hit. Why does he need to play? He's already won a Super Bowl. He's good.
A couple of them. Yep.
One.
All right. Or one of them. That's right. He was the MVP of the Super Bowl, wasn't he?
He was.
Yeah.
Yeah, Shador looked comfortable. That's what I'll say. It wasn't that he just made good decisions. Like, he looked very comfortable in the pocket. The only real mistakes he made is when he would get pressure, he would try and do like that double spin and just go backwards. If
good way
anybody's
to get
old
killed.
enough to remember Super Bowl VI when Bob Greasy took the sack where he just kept running backwards and the Cowboys, where he kept trying to spin out of it, that's what it looked like. But other than that.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, number 4.
Trade to AAA.
Trey is You like my
Trey,
rhyming?
I don't. Trey Savage has been promoted in the Blue Jays organization to AAA. I also read an article earlier today about Carson Wisenhunt that says that he, I guess, has a rare type of blood, and so he donates blood and has done so regularly. And a children's hospital for kids with cancer has been the beneficiary of that. Well, isn't that a nice story?
That is.
But
yeah.
Trey is savage. How about Gavin Williams with the near no-hitter last week?
Yeah, it was rough.
That was rough.
According to, I might be telling tales out of school, but I don't care. According to Henry, someone who used to work in these buildings sent a text saying he was about to throw a no-hitter right before it got
Right,
ballooned.
the always anonymous
Trent McGee.
text line, Trent McGee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dang it, Trent.
I gotta get.
Our guy
I wanna
McGee
get
on
off of the
sports.
text. I want to get off the text chain.
I think I'm too good for the chain.
I'm way too good for the chain, and yet I'm still on it, and I want to get off of it. I would do anything to be off of the chain. All right. So what is that? Where is he going then? If he's going to AAA, Vancouver was AA, right?
No, yeah, AAA is Buffalo.
Oh, okay. That's right, because that's obviously closer to Toronto.
Yeah. You could
All right,
hit a
Vancouver,
golf
which is gorgeous, for Buffalo, which is not. All right, number 5.
Pennsylvania wins Little League Softball World Series.
We talked about it in the Open. I couldn't even have told you who won the thing, but I guess good for Pennsylvania. Here's what I do know. They had 37 cameras at Elm Street. ESPN did. 37 cameras. And my guy Steve Lovick in Kinston catered breakfast for him one day from Lovick's restaurant. There's a plug.
Yeah. 37.
Or Lovick's Cafe.
That's what I'll give ESPN. We dog on them a lot, but when they try to promote something, and what they're forcing down our throat right now is women's sports, which they're trying to promote. They don't promote it and then half butt it. They do it full. Like
it looks really
yeah,
good.
Some of the stuff they do, it's they leave us scratching our heads. But again, it goes back to when they first started Monday Night Football, right? We're going to have all the new extra camera angles. We're going to throw Monday Night Football in your face. And on top of that, they went above and beyond. Well, they went above and beyond for the League Softball World Series. So good job, ESPN. When you deserve it, we'll give it to you. You don't deserve it often, ESPN. but we'll give
a
it
lot
to
of
you
people are worried they're going to ruin,
Rune.
and they might ruin the red zone. By the
100%.
way, some things we've missed while we've been away. You know what the big thing in the WNBA has been? The tossing of novelty items, let's just say, onto the court. Who says there's nothing to talk about in summer sports? That's right, Pilk. And you know what happened? Piers Morgan, somebody put like an AI thing up that the WNBA was going to putting nets up around the court. And it showed like an angle, somebody looking through the net. You know how the hockey's put the nets up around for the puck?
Yeah.
And baseball kind of wraps it around. Piers Morgan actually thought that was a real thing on Twitter. That's funny that he thought it was a real thing and was commenting on it. Apparently during the Tour de France, a guy mooned the helicopter camera on live TV, Pilk. The broadcasters didn't cut away in time. That's another thing we missed while we were on our vacation.
Look, it is what it is, right? We've had people do worse things, and thanks to Janet Jackson and Justin Timberlake, we got that 10-second delay. Normally, you don't get to see the funny stuff anymore because they cut away from it. But I didn't see this. I was not watching the tour that day. Watched a little bit of it, but
I know you did.
Hey man, it's sports. You're not going to watch.
The deaths: Michael Madsen, Reservoir Dogs, Kill Bill. He died since we were away. Malcolm Jamal Warner, Theo on the Cosby Show, was a huge star at one time. Huge star. How about Ozzy Osbourne, Pilkington, while we were away? Died.
Yeah, I'm glad he got to do his final concert.
He did, and he didn't look great, but he didn't look like he was on death's doorstep. Hulk Hogan, who would have been 72 today, died, cardiac arrest back on the 24th of July. It's kind of a shock to a lot of people. The great Ryne Sandberg, 1984 MVP, Hall of Famer with the Cubs, succumbed to cancer while we were away. Rhino, part of the great, they weren't really great teams, just one of the great players during the era where I became a Cubs fan. It was him and Mark Grace and Sean Dunston and Maddox, and was really about it. After that, there was not a whole lot. Andre Dawson, Sammy Sosa for various runs. But Ryne Sandberg, one of the great all-time Cubs. All right, let's take a break. We've got Coach Harrell calling in, and we're going to get him on the phone and talk Pirate football with Blake Harrell when we come back. Nice to be back. It is the Patrick Johnson Show, our season premiere here on 94.3 The Game. Little of the Ozman going to break.
The team of Flatlands Jessup is working overtime to help ensure that Eastern North Carolinians like you get the health insurance help you need this open enrollment period. New legislation passed meaning more people than ever qualify for affordable coverage. Let us help you today.
The best burgers around. Everyone loves a thick, juicy, and fresh burger. Tiebreakers in Greenville, plus the all-new Tiebreakers in Winterville. Do real burgers better than anybody. So don't just go to any burger-themed restaurant chain. It's time to break the chain and eat local. Tiebreakers, real burgers at its best.
Everybody loves burgers.
Big tax credits are back. Get a 30% tax credit, up to $2,000 off your new Mitsubishi electric heat pump install. Let Comfort Master help you take advantage of the tax credits with a qualifying Mitsubishi electric ducted heat pump or non-ducted Mitsubishi electric mini splits. Mitsubishi electric mini splits are ideal for bonus rooms, garages, or sunrooms. If you need a new HVAC unit, call Comfort Master today.
Call Comfort Master. Call Comfort Master.
You know what the problem is with standard belts? Usually you have to choose between too tight or the opposite, too loose. But with Anson Belt and Buckle, you don't have to choose. We got rid of the holes and instead have a track system designed for micro-adjustability. That way you can enjoy a perfect fit every time. Anson Belt and Buckle. Find your perfect fit today.
Healthwise Pharmacy rounds the bases with all of your infusion, retail, compounding, and medical equipment needs. Locally owned and operated by pharmacist Marcy Parker, Healthwise has grown to be your most trusted provider for infusion services. Currently providing in-home or on-site infusions in North Carolina, South Carolina, and Virginia. Visit Healthwise Pharmacy at 615B South Memorial Drive or call 252-295-0059 to speak to a patient service representative to find the option that best suits your needs.
In this age of globalization, we've learned that bigger isn't always better. Ever tried to get phone help from a big corporation from a real person? Right. That's what's so nice about Phelps Chevrolet. After more than 50 years serving our community, Phelps remains family-owned and operated. Mike, Daryl, Wave, West, Alan, and Clay deliver hometown service and integrity, same as always. They share your experience, they share your values, and they are ready to help with any motoring need. Come get you one.
Tired of the 1-800 numbers advertising Medicare products? Flatlands Jessup has 6 offices all throughout eastern North Carolina. Get face-to-face help from our local award-winning licensed team. Stop by today. Flatlands Jessup, your whole world covered.
We're back to the show.
I missed you. We all missed you. Did you miss him?
This is the Patrick Johnson Show on 94.3 The Game.
It's great to have Blake Harrell back with us here as we kick off the new season with our premiere of the Patrick Johnson Show. Coach, thank you for taking a few minutes with us here during the busy fall camp.
Yeah, thanks, Patrick, for having me on, and appreciate your coverage and all you do for us and Pirate Nation and ECU Athletics.
Let's start, Coach, with Saturday's scrimmage. What stands out now that you've had a chance to go back and review the film?
Yeah, I thought, there's always the good and the bad and the ugly. Anytime you scrimmage, anytime you go have some live contact and coaches are kind of on the sidelines, kind of game day procedures. You always see your mistakes stand out a little bit more, and then you see some guys flash and do some good things. And, we've still got another week of camp and to go at it and get those corrections made. We still got a long ways to go, and we got to keep pushing. And I think the big thing was the first time we were in Dowdy Ficklen Stadium, which, I think Coach Sankweiler went through the history of Dowdy Friday night before we played on Saturday. And then I told our players Saturday, what makes a place extra special, just your effort in there. And I thought our effort was really good, but we got some things to clean up from an execution standpoint.
Before we maybe delve into some of that, what are some areas you really feel like you can build on?
I just thought that, offensively, the continuity there in year 2 with Caden Hauser, Coach Baker, and the offensive pieces there was stood out. And those guys are, all working together, all pointing in the same direction. I still think, we can get better in a lot of areas there, but just when you're not in the first scrimmage for those guys, they've been battle tested a little bit there. And defensively, I thought we had some flashes, but we got to be more consistent on that side of the ball as well.
Did have a couple of interceptions on the day from Tegan Wilk, who kind of led the way for you in that department. There was also a pick late. So from that standpoint, defensively, you had to be pleased.
Yeah, Tegan's a senior. You just talked to him today, and several of those other seniors. This is your defense. It's got to be a player-led defense. Obviously, coaches are going to help shape that, and Coach Aldridge and those guys are doing a great job of helping to mold our expectations over there and our culture over there. And but Tegan and those guys at some point got to take over, and they got to take ownership in that and run the show on the field. And Tegan's always considered him another coach on the field, and he's certainly continuing to do that and doing a good job playing the ball in the air as well, obviously.
Coach Blake Harrell joining us here on the Patrick Johnson Show today. How about just the overall, the way your team tackled defensively? You're a defensive guy. I know that's an area you're going to scrutinize quite a bit, but how do you feel like on the whole that appeared on Saturday?
I think one thing about coaches, and especially when it's your side of the ball, your background, it's never good enough, and there's always room to improve. And I think as coaches, if we weren't that way and we were fat and happy and satisfied, then there'd be no room for improvement. We wouldn't get much better. So tackling, scrimmage 1 is obviously going to stand out because you haven't done a whole lot of it. But we, got 100 plays of live tackling in Saturday, and we've seen our mistakes. We got to do a better job of getting our feet to contact. I call it stepping on your toes. If I can step on your toes, Patrick, I can probably tackle you. No better how bad of a tackler I am. So we got to keep working those things, and that's what practice is about. And I think we got, 17 days or so before we have to test it out again. Obviously, we'll get some live tackling situations in practice this week, and then another scrimmage this week as well. So those things should improve drastically.
You know, you talked about the offense. There's been a little bit of a competition at center. How do you feel like you're kind of putting that together as far as what it's going to look like up front against NC State in about, as you say, 17 days?
Yeah, we've had some older guys step up on the offensive line, you know, and doing a good job taking ownership. And one of those is a local kid, Panda Askew, is playing several different positions on the O-line. And I think just his demeanor, his mindset, and his attitude that he brings to practice every day kind of helps set the tone for the rest of the group. And Darius Bell is another senior that's, you know, I've seen him improve just in the spring and just seems more comfortable making all the calls and making the checks and doing those things up front. So we got to continue to push that group, though. And that group, I think, has a chance to be better than we were a year ago. I don't think we're quite there yet. I mean, we lost a lot of experience in those three seniors that were there last year. Athletically, I think we can be there. We just got to keep pushing them, though. We got to make sure we have the toughness and the mindset to go finish. And that was the one big thing I would take from both sides of the ball is, like, we got to do a better job finishing tackles. You know, O-line, if the ball carrier's held up, they got to push it forward, all those things.
Coach, as far as the running back position goes, you have three that have been given some preseason accolades. Obviously, London Montgomery is a dynamic talent. You have Marlon Gunn from a physicality standpoint, who is someone that brings experience and can run it in between the tackles, that old phrase. But then Parker Jenkins, his addition, transferring in from Houston. How do you see those three using? Might we see combinations where you see a couple of guys on the field together at the same time?
Well, I'll tell you what they've been really impressive with is just their attitude off the field and just how they pull for each other. You know, it's not me and my carries and what can I do and give me the ball. It's more a team mindset and just, you know, making the whole thing go. And they understand they got to block and they understand they got to play special teams. And all three are contributing on special teams right now if we're playing tomorrow. And I think that's just a huge emphasis of who they are and who our team is. And, you know, I think anytime you got three guys like that, and it allows you the availability to put two guys on the field at the same time or do some different things with them. And I think all of them are set for a really good season with the Pirates.
We're talking Pirate football with Coach Harrell. NC State coming up 2 weeks from Thursday. Another week of fall camp ahead, and then the preps begin the week in, week out for the regular season with the Wolfpack coming up. All right, so Mike Wright, Coach, obviously he brings a ton of experience, well-traveled, smart young man, but also one that can do many things. He's a guy that can certainly can use his legs to be quite effective as well. I know he brings a lot of comfort for you and Coach Baker as far as a veteran guy in the backup spot, but could we see him maybe be utilized in some situations offensively that, you know, don't call for him being the backup, but maybe we might see him on a drive or two or a play or two?
I think anytime you're you know, you just sub a guy in for a package or you sub a guy in for a series, or it's hard to get your main guy in rhythm.
Right.
And our main guy is Caden. Coach Baker kind of wants to stay away from having to sub in, sub out quarterbacks and kind of getting that habit. So Caden will be the guy we go with. And obviously Mike's having a good camp. Raheem Jeter's having a really good camp. Just really impressed with some things he's done. And I told him the other day, I said, you look like a totally different guy from the spring. He said, you know, that's the same thing my dad said. I guess his dad he'd send him a clip from practice, and his dad said the same thing. But I'll tell you this about Mike Wright, though. He stood in front of our team and just talked about energy and attitude the other day. And it was all about his team or about his teammates and about, you know, seeing the joy in them and them celebrating, and he wanted them to be successful. So I couldn't say enough about the young man as a character and just how he's a leader and what he brings to our football team.
You know, Blake, the thing we noticed last year in the offseason, and here we are in the preseason, and I think this is always going to be the case, but it seems like you have really empowered the guys on the roster, the guys in the locker room, to take possession and ownership of this program.
Well, I think it's that way in any organization or any business. I mean, if you know, even at your business or your work, if somebody's just telling you what to do every day and kind of leading it from just the boss standpoint and don't give any leeway to the people in the building, there's tough times. But if the people in the building feel like they have ownership and what they do matters, and their influence is impact success, I think you just have more people bought in and more people pulling in the same direction. It can help you grow.
With John David Baker, speaking of empowering guys, and I'll even ask you to speak a little bit to Coach Aldridge. I really like Coach Aldridge's view on things in hearing some of his preseason comments. But obviously with JDB, you've got him back. We talked about it in one of our last conversations. He is locked up to a multi-year kind of long-term thing. So that is, again, a guy that is in his second year, maybe has you've empowered him to really steer offense. A little bit on that, if you will, about the job that you feel like Coach Baker's done, and then what you feel like Aldridge has brought to the table, Coach.
Yeah, I think for John David, it's the same as kind of talking about Caton. It's just kind of the continuity. John David has a really good feel for our personnel, what they can do, what their strengths are, and how he wants to attack things, and just the whole staff, whether it's talking with the O-line or Coach Maddox or Coach Robertson receivers or Coach Freeman or Coach McKay, they're all on the same page. There's not we're not having to go back through and say, okay, what do we want to terminology we want to use here? How are we going to discuss this? How are we going to attack this? They're all in the same mindset and same accord together. So that's really good to see. And Coach Aldridge has brought a lot to our program, just the energy he has and some new schemes there defensively that I think will be really good for us this fall.
Coach, as far as the week ahead, what will it look like, from kind of a scheduling standpoint, and what will that look like as you get ready to go into game prep mode?
Yeah, I thought to our players, this is really the last week of camp, and this Thursday, as you mentioned, will be 2 weeks out. We're going to treat this week like a game week, even though it's camp mode. We had a really good practice this morning as far as just going at it. I don't think we had quite the urgency and intent we need. We still got to be pressing on that. We'll have a very physical practice tomorrow and Wednesday. Wednesday we'll probably do a little bit more situational football. Thursday we'll kind of treat that like the day before a game. And then Friday we'll go have a scrimmage and get our last scrimmage in there. And then next Saturday we'll kind of review that, have a little media day. And then Sunday they'll have the day off, and then it'll be all focused on NC State at that point.
Yeah, right around the corner. Coach, what are some areas, or rather positions, I know there's the end of the scrimmage, the kicking competition, but what are some areas that you still are seeing maybe – I know there's competition in all positions. That's what you want. But, as far as, the actual start, I mean, what are some areas that are still to be determined because of that competition?
Right. I think, as you mentioned, the kicking spot is probably the one that comes to mind right off the top of my head, as far as we got to solidify that. I think we got three, four really good kickers, and they can do the job. And they've all kicked in the game. They've all started games. It's just finding out who's the best and who gives us the best chance to win games, and the most importantly, put it through the upright. And then so that's one area we got. And then I think overall special teams in general, just finding out who's the guys we can trust on those teams to go play with all-out effort and give us a chance to win. And then I think, if you look at the two sides of the ball defensively, we got solidified linebacker. I mean, we have had Day Wilson, Damian Wilson in there working. We've had Sam Dankin in there working, DJ Johnson, Jackson Barker. But, they're all kind of just even kill right now. We gotta have one of those guys stand up and lead the team and be the linebacker that's going to set the tempo. And right now I don't see that, and they got to come along. The corner position, I think we found a guy that can play out there. We got to find a couple more. Mm-hmm. And so we got to keep pushing forward and just see where this week takes us. The O-line, we got to continue to solidify that. I think we got 8 guys that can play, but which one of those guys are going to say, hey, this is my spot, you're not taking from me, I'm going to help us win and move it forward. So a lot of work to do this week, a lot of things to keep competing, and that's good. It makes those guys better each and every day.
Last thing I want to leave you with here, it is not necessarily position X and O's football, but it is sports. And you took the group out to watch some of the Little League World Series this past week. What a great event for Greenville, a great showcase. Why was that important to take that group out there?
Man, what a special, first of all, what a special opportunity for Greenville to host the Little League Softball World Series there, and what that means to our community and just the businesses in this area and those girls that play out Sarah Law. Obviously, I have daughters that play out there at Sarah Law as well. So just for that whole group, I think that was a big event for those folks. But for our players, I told them, I said before I went out there, I said, it's so much more than just going to a softball game. It's go out there and have fan engagement. I said, there's going to be people out there in the community that look up to you. They want to come get your autograph. Those little kids want to come take pictures with you, and just supporting people in our community. We talk about how special Eastern North Carolina is, 252, Greenville, East Carolina is. Well, we've got to continuously give back. And I said, if you go out there and show fans that you care more than just about yourself and you care about this community and you're bought into it and you're invested into it, they'll invest in you and they'll pack Dowdy Ficklin out, when you play and you go at it. But you got to show that you care about other things than just yourself. And that's kind of the mindset and the culture we want to, instill in our players and our program and hopefully for all of our sports.
You mentioned your girls play. For your girls, how exciting was this past week for them as just, fellow players, fans of softball?
Yeah, my oldest daughter, she's just volleyball now, but it was a lot of her friends on that team. And then for my youngest two, they kind of look up to those girls and just seeing, the event and hoping they can be a part of that one day. And it kind of, as a young age, I think it's really good for young girls to kind of have a dream and a goal. I mean, I remember as a young kid and watching Little League World Series baseball on TV, and I was like, man, I want to play in that one day. Obviously, never got that opportunity,
right,
but
yeah.
For our girls in this community, they get to see it firsthand, and I think it drives them. And sometimes we need that extra motivation or drive to keep us on top of our game.
Coach, it's always great to talk to you. I appreciate the time. Know it's busy, and we'll look forward to catching up with you again soon.
Yeah, can't wait to catch up again. Appreciate it, Patrick.
Yep, absolutely. There he goes, Blake Harrell. Good stuff, Pilk. Good to hear from Coach Harrell. I think, obviously as this gets a little closer to the ball toe greeting leather in a little more than 2 weeks, you probably feel like, okay, there's certain things we've got to do. And I don't think he's necessarily coaching effort, but I think they want a little more urgency from certain position groups, from certain players. That's my read on what we just heard. We'll get Pilk's take on it and hear from the defensive coordinator for the Pirates, Josh Aldridge, when we come back here on the Patrick Johnson Show. We've also got tomorrow, the great Phil Steele's going to join us. Of course, you can still order Phil's magazine, philsteele.com. Barnes & Noble, I believe, sells it. Well, we'll check that, but philsteele.com, you can get it ordered. They'll get it to you mighty quick. Stay tuned. More of the PJ Show right after this time out here. Thanks for being with us as it's our season premiere on 94.3 The Game, online at 943thegame.com and on the IBX Media app.
This is about you, your family, and the health of all who live in Eastern North Carolina. This is about the transformation of a health system into something more powerful and more human. About creating new ways to treat disease and keep you well. This is about ECU Health, which is to say, it's really all about you. ECU Health. Minds, hearts, purpose.
You have a choice when you invest in insurance, and when you choose First State Insurance Advisors, you're working with people you can trust. Clark Stallings has deep ties in the community. His team, including Keaton Smith, Regina Asby, Phil Leyva, Max Joyner Jr., Max Joyner III, and Ginger Smith, provides knowledgeable and professional advice. First State Insurance Advisors is an independent insurance agency. They offer all types of personal insurance as well as various types for business. Call or email First State Insurance Advisors today. We want to be your trusted choice agency.
At Parker's Barbecue, our family has been serving your family for 3 generations.
For that, we say thank you.
Blessing families every Thursday. Kids eat free all day. That's the Parker's way.
Legendary food served from our 3 locations. Always quick, Always delicious, that's the Parker's way.
At Parker's, our mission is to impact our customers through Christ-like service in a way that feeds them both physically and spiritually. That is the Parker's way.
Acre Station Meat Farm, along with Lane Angus Beef, bring you Farm to Fork Beef.
Stock your freezers now with affordable beef boxes just in time for the grilling season.
Farm to Fork Beef brings quality local beef to your family. From your traditional butcher shop, Acre Station Meat Farm. Come on down to Acre Station Meat Farm and find out why we're #1 in fresh cuts and friendly service.
Acre Station Meat Farm, Highway 32 North, Pinetown.
Storm season is approaching. North Carolina weather can damage your roof, and before long, a small leak can turn into a big problem. Your home is one of your biggest investments, so protect it with Wells Home Improvements.
We work with all insurance companies for a hassle-free roof installation experience. Call us today and get 10% off your roof installation when you mention this commercial.
252-227-8403 or visit us online at wellshomeimprovements.com. Wells Home Improvements. Local, honest, dependable.
Beep, beep. Move over, Buttercup. We're back to the show.
We're back. And I love them.
This is the Patrick Johnson Show on 94.3 The Game.
All right, we got Coach Harrell's thoughts on the scrimmage. Let's hear from the defensive coordinator, Josh Aldridge of the Pirates, and hear what his thoughts were on ECU's scrimmage.
I thought we played with great effort and energy. Probably gave up some explosive plays that we hadn't been giving up, and didn't like that. But, I thought we battled back after an early, slow start, and, I thought they were resilient and things like that. And then we kind of pulled back some of those older guys and played some younger guys and let them get out there and get probably the most snaps they've seen so far camp. So it's nice to see them run around too and learn from their mistakes. So playing the coach off of scrimmage one like you'd expect.
All right. We asked Coach Aldridge his thoughts on how the team tackled during the course of Saturday's scrimmage.
Like Coach Harrell says, you always think you can improve on it. You know what I mean? Especially I want to see us tackle better in space. You know what I mean? You got some of those young DBs out there. And just seeing them get off blocks and tackle in space, I thought, like I said, I thought we missed some of those early, especially before we kind of settled in and started making those plays.
All right, Coach Aldridge on how he is assessing, the battles for the starting spots. That's one thing we just talked about a little bit with Blake Harrell.
This time of year, it's a cliche, but you got three processes you're going through in fall campuses. First thing is you're trying to figure out who's on the bus. Right. Okay. And then you got to figure out what the right seats are for them to sit in. Right. And then you got to figure out the direction that bus is going. Right. So I think we know who's on the bus right now. Okay. I think right now we're still figuring out, like you're saying, who's sitting in what seat, whether that be a 1 or a 2 or at this position or that position. And then once we solidify that, then you determine, okay, schematically what fits these guys best. Right. Like I said in the spring, we got to have a big enough menu that fits our guys depending on who's in the game. Your defense changes year to year. You might have a strength in this room one year and a strength in that one the next year. So probably looking to solidify that this week, what you're asking about, and then we can move forward to what we want to hang our hat
on. More from Josh Aldridge, ECU defensive coordinator here on the Patrick Johnson Show. Earlier today, he talked about some names that are standing out on the defensive line.
Raheem and JD doing great on the edge out there, you know what I mean? And, Zion has been very consistent at nose guard. He's a big guy, and sometimes got to push him through some of those hotter days. But him and Zay inside, have been really solidifying, as probably the two of the stronger guys. And then Justin Benton, he gets better every day, transfer. And he, really excited about him. And he's a little different than those two. He's a little dynamic, got some good pass rush moves and things like that. So those probably be the top three that stand out to me right now.
He mentioned JD Lampley, Preston Carr, and Brock Spalding all have since rejoined the team after that incident that took place during the offseason, after the summer workouts, the little brush with the Popo, but they are back. I think this team can rush the passer, rush the passer well. Those aren't my thoughts necessarily, although I agree, but these are the thoughts of Josh Aldridge.
Yeah, I do think we can rush the passer. I've made it very known to them that I think they can rush the passer and that we're gonna cut them loose. You know what I mean? I think we just got to be detailed and how we rotate guys in, or like you're saying, have packages where we got the right guys on the field at the same time. You know, that's our job. You know, I think that's something we can hang our hat on, is just cutting those guys loose. I don't always think we've got to create pressure by just bringing everybody, because we got some dudes who can line up and win.
Coach Aldridge on who is standing out at the corner spot.
I mean, Rasheed Reasons, I mean, he solidifies himself as a guy in my eyes. I mean, he competes every day. Not to say he's perfect or anything like that, but, you know, a big part about DB is experience sometimes, because those guys don't panic when the ball's in the air. You know, don't get me wrong, running fast and all these things are great, but, you know, the greatest DBs, when that ball's in the air, they don't panic. Just like receivers. The best receivers, when the ball's in the air, they don't panic. They may not be on the right spot. They got good body control, all those things. That's what Rasheed's got. You know, when the ball's in the air, he doesn't panic. He's confident. He's locked into his assignment for a guy. What I'm really impressed with is he wasn't here in the spring, and he's really locked into the defense already. So, you know, he stood out to me, and those other guys are competing as well. And, you know, I think it's really nice that we got a bunch of guys near the same level, and creates competition. They better be on their A game, or they might be with the 2s or the 3s the next day. So, but that'd be one guy that stands out in that room right now.
You know, one thing, and unless he talked about it, we just didn't get the cut. But, you know, when you hear Coach Harrell say the linebacker, you know, we're looking for somebody to step up at linebacker. If you think about even, you know, historically recent times going back, that kind of athletic linebacker, Pilk, has been a real key to this. And when I say athletic, I mean versatile linebacker has been the real key to success for the Pirates. You know, and it is a little, I wouldn't say concerning, but certainly you hope somebody can step up. And who will it be? Who will it be? You've got some veteran guys there, some guys who have been, who've played a lot of experience. Well, older guys, but not you know, maybe not a ton of snaps in a starting role kind of experience. I know you got Raheem Craig in that particular grouping that has been talked about. Others. But, Pilk, that's an area where you're going to have some guys certainly step up. I don't know if that's – again, how much of this is, you know, messages in the media, coach speak, that kind of thing? I mean, is it a real concern area? We'll find out a little more, I suppose, in the coming weeks. We'll know a lot more, I think, after – the next scrimmage, when we hear from the coaches and all of that on Saturday, because you can get those breakout sessions going at the media days. And to me, I think that's where you can maybe glean a little more information if you have the thing fanned out and you're covering a lot of things. I'm sorry, Pilk, you were going to say.
No, I agree with you. And I think it's such a crucial position to do it, because you don't only have to have a young man with the skill set to go out there and do it, but you're a quarterback in the defense. It's not only, hey, can you go out there, can you cover, can you tackle, can you fill gaps, but can you call the defense? Can you be the guy who wears the green dot on that helmet? And that's one of the things that they kind of have to figure out, some of those linebacker positions right now. And to your point, yeah, I mean, you think of some of the guys in the past, you think of that really good recruiting class that, you know, obviously Holton was featured in, and the linebackers that came in with him, you know, and we're part of that group, you know, X and Miles Berry and guys like that. And we transitioned over to Taylor Jackson. And, you know, now it's just kind of who's that next guy going to be, but they're going to figure it out. And I think Coach Harrell likes these kind of nuances to the job, figuring out who's going to be mysteries, defense. These mysteries. This is right up his alley. The
tinkering pieces of the puzzle. Is that what you're saying?
He was damn good at it as a DC. That's all I got to say.
He really was. He really was. You could say they didn't have the most talented, you know, guy. They had some talent, but maybe not the most talented guys, but he always seemed to find a way. All right, we're hitting a break. Come back, we'll wrap the show up, get you set for tomorrow, and run through a few more things before we get going. We almost made it, but we've almost made it through the whole show, Pilk, before I've talked about, as you put it the other day, one of my favorite topics. But we do have a couple topics I do want to address when we come back, so we'll do that here on the PJ Show.
Cash in your trade-in at Greenville Toyota. Get a huge offer when you trade. Then save big on a brand new Corolla, just $229 a month. Or get a Tacoma, just $319 a month. Secure your Toyota now at Greenville Toyota.
Your confidence makes everything look good. You see the world in vivid color. not black and white. Swing through your neighborhood Fantastic Sam's cut and color. And let our experienced stylists take you from everyday to extraordinary.
Fantastic Sam's hair salons are locally owned and operated. Our full-service salons are conveniently located in Goldsboro, Kinston, Greenville, New Bern, Jacksonville, and Calabash. Stop in today at Fantastic Sam's, where the possibilities are endless.
You know what the problem is with standard belts? Usually you have to choose between too tight or the opposite, too loose. But with Anson Belt and Buckle, you don't have to choose. We got rid of the holes and instead have a track system designed for micro-adjustability. That way you can enjoy a perfect fit every time. Anson Belt and Buckle. Find your perfect fit today.
Daughtridge Gas and Oil has been your dependable propane supplier for 95 years. Their trained technicians can service and properly install all your propane and natural gas appliances. Plus, Daughtridge Gas and Oil is your backyard expert with fire pits, grills, smokers, and more, including quality outdoor furniture at their Greenville Patio and Hearth Shop at 1901 Charles Boulevard. Go by and see the knowledgeable staff at Daughtridge Gas and Oil for propane delivery or call 756-1345.
Other restaurants claim their food is fresh and fast, but are they friendly? At Moore's, you're treated like family the minute you walk into their doors, with locations in Winterville, New Bern, Swansboro, Morehead City, and Jacksonville. We've been practicing what we preach since 1945. At Moore's, our barbecue is slow cooked and smoked over real wood daily until it's so tender it's falling off the bone. Combined with our fresh chicken, cooked-to-order seafood, and homemade fixins, we're sure you'll agree. If it's not Moore's, it's less.
Turn your car into cash at Greenville Toyota. Cash in your trade-in today. Then get new Camry just $249 a month, or drive a new RAV4 $319 a month at Greenville Toyota, where our
And
volume
now,
saves you money.
the stunning conclusion.
Why is everyone screaming?
On 94.3 The Game.
All right. Oh, wrong button. All right. Nice to have you with us here today on the Patrick Johnson Show. That's right. All the mistakes are our mistakes. There are mess-ups, all the bad notes today. Congratulations, Pilkington, goes out to me.
Stroking his own ego. I love it.
For the third year in a row. The sister station, WTIB, which, by the way, once the great P-Man returned to the franchise known as Talk of the Town, these nominations started rolling in. And we have been nominated for the Station of the Year again in a Marconi. What do you think of that?
Congratulations to Michael and Henry and everybody else who works so hard on that station.
Michael?
And you, Patrick.
Michael?
Hey, I said congratulations, great job, everybody, in the text the other day
Michael?
when we got the text.
Yes. Mike. And whose fat face did they put on the video when they announced it in their awards or nominee announcement show?
It was you, and I had to remind Henry that a couple years ago when they actually got to the Marconi Awards and they put a picture up of our station, they put me.
I'm on every year.
You're on, I'm on. They never put Henry on.
I'm the face of the new generation.
You are.
And here we are. We are nominated yet again for a Marco, which I guess is in October. They're going to make the announcement.
Yeah,
in New York City. Yeah,
I'm gonna have to
pretty good though.
Try and go.
We're up against Buffalo, New York, a station for Buffalo. We're up against a station for Boise, which has become a big million people radio market. Where was one of the other? It was another kind of significant city.
Is it like
one
Des
of the Florida
Moines or
cities?
something like that? Was there like a Midwest?
I don't know. It might have been Louisville. There might have been a station in Louisville that we're going up against, I think. And then there's a station down in Florida. But there we are, little old Greenville. The little engine that could.
Look at us being a medium market, and they're calling us and Buffalo a medium market. I would consider that a major market, I guess.
Wild.
If you're not, La La Land or New York or
I know,
Chicago or
wild.
Dallas, you're not.
You know what we
you're
need
not
to
big
do?
market.
We need to divide to 8 classifications like high school sports. That's what we
I
need
agree,
to do. There
I
needs to be
agree.
8 classifications.
There we go. Yeah, how the heck are we medium market and so is Buffalo? Come on. I'm not that good at geography, but I know that we're not as big as Buffalo.
Well, it's medium. I guess they're calling it on market, and I think our market size, if you count the whole market, is like 650,000 people, which is a significant amount of people.
Yeah.
But Buffalo and Boise are million. One's like 1.1 million, the other's 900,000. It's pretty significant.
You got an NFL team, you're a bigger city than Greenville, North Carolina.
Sure. By the way, Pilk, we got through the whole show today with no Belichick.
I know, I'm proud of you. I am.
We'll talk about it at some point.
Oh,
we were supposed to have Michael Lombardi on tomorrow, but he canceled on us, and we ain't getting him.
Oof. Hey, we get Phil Steele. I'm good with that.
We got Phil Steele tomorrow. That'll be plenty fun. All right. Hey, I'm juiced now. We got the first one out of the way. I had fun today.
We got back on our
good
bike.
to be back.
We didn't need training wheels. We did it.
To be back. Did not need training wheel. We drove it really fast, and we even jumped a ramp. All right. We'll be back tomorrow in the morning. I'll see you on Talk of the Town, speaking of which, and then back here at 5 with Phil Steele tomorrow for the Patrick Johnson Show. Looking forward to it. Stay dry.